Welcome back. Well, finally this hour, if you take one part stand-up comic, mix in a little Penn and Teller, maybe even a dash of Cirque du Soleil, well, you might come close to describing Jeff Bradley's unique show. It's a welcome dose of comedy, stunts, illusions, and theater. And Jeff Bradley is making his Jacksonville debut appearance Thursday night at the Mudville Grill Listening Room. We've got a preview right now. Jeff Bradley, good morning.
Hi. Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for being here. And it was a shame that Hurricane Matthew meant that your show had to be rescheduled, but luckily it's back on Thursday night. First time in Jacksonville?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I'm excited by this.
And we're excited to have you because you do a really unique act. How did you develop it?
Well, I wanted to get on stage, and I knew how to juggle, and that seemed to be my excuse to get up there because I was quite a shy kid. So I went up there with little tricks and something, but then it developed from there.
And you've been called everything from hysterical to a virtuoso. People don't know how.
And a few things in between.
And a few things in between. But you're not easily. Your act, your appeal isn't easily categorized.
Yeah, and I find that people do want to categorize things, and it's really difficult. And even when people leave the show, they're not that they confuse what they saw, but they'll say, "Oh, that comedian was great," or "I like the magician," or "What about the juggling?" But I always tried to break the rules, try to be non-traditional and stand out, even though I'm doing magic, juggling, mime, things that have been around for thousands of years.
Yeah, you just said stand out.
Yes.
You're Canadian.
I am.
You're from Toronto, I just learned. So you are going to have, I would think, a really interesting take on our political process here in the States. Do you talk about that?
Well, I try to keep things, the problem with politics these days is you're going to divide the room, right, no matter what you say.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to have a good time. So that's not to say you can't touch on that, but ultimately people come out to feel good, not to go away feeling bad.
Yeah,
so,
you want people to be laughing, and you really do lift them up.
Things that you might want them to think about, but you don't want to lecture, and you don't want anybody leaving upset. And that's whether you're dealing with a heckler, whether you're dealing with politics, whether you're dealing with anything. It should be the goal should always be try to make 100% of these people happy. And if you hit 95, you're doing well.
How do you put the act together? You're doing mime, you're doing juggling, you're doing jokes, there's a lot in this.
I like to think of each part of the act as a little sitcom, little situation comedy in which I'm one of the players, and if I use a volunteer, they're another one of the cast members, and if there's props involved, they're a cast member. It kind of so I write these scenarios, and then whatever will fit into it. If I have an idea, I really want to put in this juggling bit. It's been a while since I've done any juggling, so let's figure out this. But the problem with juggling is it's invariably predicated on, look what I can do that you can't.
Right, exactly. I know, it makes us all feel really inadequate.
And that's a pretty dull premise. So I try to avoid that. It's not a showing off thing.
Right, and the audience involvement is key to your show.
Yeah. I like to have people, and again, make as positive an experience for everybody.
Now, you'll be performing Thursday night at Mudville, also with Mike Lagasse, a singer and guitarist with St. Augustine's Wildshiners Band. A little music, too.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice evening of going out.
Exactly. And I hope that it's a little warmer down here for you right now than it is up in Toronto. Because you just told me never visit there past Halloween, so I will remember that.
Yeah. Remember, we Canadians, we hibernate from about November to March.
Exactly. So you picked a good time to come down here, Jeff Bradley. It's a pleasure to meet you, and it's going to be a great show. Your first ever in Jacksonville, so enjoy your time here.
Well, thank you very much.
He is variety comedian Jeff Bradley. Now, this act was rescheduled due to Hurricane Matthew. It's back on tomorrow night, his Jacksonville debut, Thursday evening at the Mudville Grill Listening Room at 3105 Beach Boulevard. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. That's coming up tomorrow.